Hey there, Mr. Wilford here, and I wanted to just talk quickly about Chapter 1, Section 5, maximums and minimums. And one of the things that we want to be able to do as mathematicians is we want to be able to take a look at a graph and kind of be able to read the graph and understand what's happening throughout the graph. And sometimes we want to be able to look at the highest points and the lowest points of the graph. And depending upon what type of function you have and what type of graph it creates, we can talk about a maximum or a minimum. And we can kind of look at it in really two ways. We can kind of look at the big picture and finding a maximum over the whole graph or a minimum over the whole graph. And these are called global maximums and minimums. And because global meaning that they're across the whole graph. We can also talk about and kind of zoom in to a particular point, and we can talk about kind of a more localized maximum or minimum. And therefore, we talk about a local max or min or a global max or min. And we can take a look at how that looks over a particular function graph. And so you can see here there are a couple of examples here. These are good to take a look at in terms of um, looking at the graph and what we mean by global maximum or minimum, local maximum or minimum. And sometimes, depending upon the graph, you might not have really a maximum or minimum because it goes on forever. Again, depending upon, if you have a line, for example, um, typically we don't talk about a maximum or minimum. Some sort of curvature like this, we can talk about certain points along that. Now, this graph is kind of cut off here, and so that's why we talk about a global maximum being this highest point, because that is the highest point over that whole graph. We have a global minimum here because that is the lowest point of the whole graph. But if you notice here, if we kind of zoom into this little hump in the graph, we could consider that a local maximum. And down here, this would be a local minimum because that is in this little zoomed in area, that would be the bottommost point there. So again, we want to take a look at a video here. You can check that out. There's some more examples in identifying certain maximums and minimums. Again, just a reminder that you can also look at some of these review problems. And again, at the bottom of this, you can check out those answers if you wish. Once again, make sure that you're taking a look at those practice problems. We want to get 10 correct. So then we can move on. So anyhow, I hope that helps. Maximums, minimums, and globally and locally. Good luck and thanks.